Welcome back, everyone. Finding Value Fantasies here. We're back with Best Ball Mania 5 draft. Going to be doing a little bit of strategy talk, talking about the off-season news, and just gonna have a good time drafting teams. So let's do it. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. Looking forward to this one. Two people waiting on two people to get in here, and we'll be in the draft. All right, let's see what's going on here. Trying to sort out. Once again, the overlay is not working, so I'm going to try to fix that. It was working like a little bit ago, so hopefully it fixes that. Next on the agenda, I'm going to be doing some strategy content, mostly like talking about a couple strategies I like and make a video or two about that. Yeah. After that, then I'll just be, honestly, I'm going to be in eliminator mode. I don't know how long. I mean, I'm going to do other drafts and stuff, but like I'm going to do a ton of eliminator, and I'm going to get people on to do that. I think those are going to be really fun to sweat with people, since you kind of get that weekly sweat. But yeah, I'm going to be doing eliminators with all sorts of people. I think it'll be a lot of fun to mess around with that, outside of doing regular drafts with people as well. But looks like we are in. All right, let's see if we can sign into this. We got the 106, so to be able to get a receiver we like, one of those top guys. It's always like getting one of those guys on my team. All right, I'm gonna have to keep pulling up. Might just have to go over to. Seems like Firefox always works right away. Might just have to do that again. I don't know why Chrome has so many issues. Yeah, move to Firefox, I guess. Apologies for this. I'm not really sure why it's so many issues. I have so many issues with this overlay, but that's what it is. Alrighty, we'll be on our way once I get this overlay up. Okay, active there. Let's go ahead and stop sharing the screen. Back over here. And we're going to go ahead and pull it up again. It's going to look fine. Yeah. I prefer to be. I'm gonna try to get it so it's the actual thing, but we'll work on this for now. But I'm gonna try to get it so it's the actual full page. Looks way better like that. We'll see if I can fix it. Okay, here we go. So Chase goes. I'm either gonna get JJ or a Monron. I feel fine about that. I'll get a Monron. I haven't been getting a ton of them, so I'll take a Monron first. I think obviously I prefer JJ there, but I don't want to be underweight Amon-Ra by any means, and this is, that's how you do it. It's not fading him there is when you need to take him. So it's kind of like I go by ADP. I took a good amount of Puka. Looks like AJ Brown flipped him, so don't know how I feel about that in terms of like Puka versus AJ Brown exposure, but it makes sense that they flipped. Lamar at 8. This is going to be a loose room, I guess. I don't know why you would do that, but all right. Maybe I'm drafting with Adam 808. Come on, man. I just want to get this to work so I can pull it up correctly. Yeah, I could do this before. I was literally signed in before, so I don't know why it's broken again. It always seems to not work when I want to use it for some apparent reason. Very frustrating. Let's try one more time. Okay, here we go. We're cooking with gas here. There we go. Pull up the draft. Give it to me. Refresh. And now it's not going to work again. Don't understand why it has so many issues, man. All right, whatever. Okay, we're on the clock here. Probably Ayuk, even though, like, I mean, I don't have to reach for it, so I'll probably just go there. Obviously, get the correlation for week 17. Don't hate that at all. I think it'll be a common start, but we're not going to be this isn't going to be a common like team throughout, so I'm not really too concerned about it. Also, 49 out of 50 subs. Like I said, I'm going to reach out to some content creators and hopefully get some collabs going, whether that be on their channel or my channel after I hit 50 subs. I think it'll be a fun little celebration / like, you know, I don't know. I think it's just good to connect with the community, and I haven't really done a good job at that, and I'd like to continue. So if you're not subbed, please sub. 50 subs is the goal. We're very, 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 very close. So appreciate everyone supporting me on my journey. Just trying to make some good best ball content. All right, let's take a look at this here. I want to say it's because I have second tab open, but it could be just because it's just not working for who knows why. Usually I have to sign into this first. Okay, I will gladly take Achan here. He's been falling like pretty regularly, but like, dude, you're not gonna catch me missing that Achan at 30. I mean, who knows where he's gonna go? But like, just getting, I don't really care when I get him. I just like to get upside like that whenever I can. Like, getting a player like that at 3.6 should be unheard of, just with like the format. Being so weighted towards high upside and high ceiling. And you can't really make the case for anyone else other than him just being an absolute awesome pick there. So, yeah, I'm going to grab him for sure. Coming around to some guys I do like a little later. I'm trying to figure out how I want to attack this quarterback-wise. Not a lot of like quarterbacks here that like make a ton of sense to me. If Laporta fell to me, I'd be interested because that's like where I'd prefer to take him price-wise, but I'm not going to force that either. All right. Pittman goes. Let me pull up the draft board for you guys. All right. You're okay. No barking. No barking. All right. So Hurts goes at 39. Getting a lot of fourth round Hurts, fourth round Allen. Pretty interesting, I'd say. I don't really know why that's the case. 40, getting Laporta at 43 would have been pretty nice. Kelsey was at 42, so those two options are off my board. I will go Christian Kirk here, get a good receiver. I think probably like, I mean, I don't know. I think he's just disrespected in general. He was a lot more like cheaper a little bit ago, so he's probably more accurately priced. But I think I'm gonna go with the strategy I like a lot, and go with my BOGO strat. I'm gonna do a video about this soon. It's gonna be pretty fun, and it's really just about attacking undervalued teams. And like the BOGO doesn't like make a full sense, but in the sense of like, I get one player, I buy one player at price, and I get additional value on the other player that I get as well. Like, I end up grabbing, let's say I grabbed 2 Chargers, and the Chargers team ended up being very good at offense, and they have great passing work. Then I kind of get a 2-for-1 there, where I like took 2 players, but I'm getting the value of 4. I take 1 player, I'm getting the value of 2 to kind of go with that BOGO strat. I think it makes a little bit of sense. It's just a fun name. I think that I'll make a video about it soon, and it should be pretty cool to see it implemented. Obviously, if you pick 2 undervalued teams and they don't hit, then you're not going to win. But like, that's how the game works. If you don't pick the right teams and the right players, you're going to lose. Like, that is literally how best ball works. So I don't mind taking a bet on an offense that I feel could be undervalued. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Andrews, ETN are very fun here. Either of them available, I think I'm going to snag. Andrews goes. Darn it. This guy's got McBride Andrews. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if ETN's there at 54, I got to smash ETN. I've been doing Hurts teams the last few times. I feel so safe having him. Yeah, I think he's a good pick especially at pick in the 4th round. Like, very awesome pick. All right, yeah, I like. Damn, bro. Oh, darn. I really wanted that. Okay. It's a tough spot here. I'm going to get Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. It's nothing I'm dying to take. I could have reached for a receiver there, but I'll take Pitts there a little bit after ADP. Unfortunately, obviously, ETN was a very nice pick there. I would have loved to get him and gone I would have stopped at like 3 or 4 receivers, 3 or 4 running backs there, but that's okay. No big deal. Anyways, and along with that BOGO strategy, I like to do like 3 quarterback builds there so that I can kind of take 3 stabs at teams that could be undervalued. I like doing that a lot more than just going like 2 quarterback builds with that. And I typically try to get an elite tight end since I'm going to be spending a little bit less at receiver than I usually would. And so I want to be strong at other positions if I'm going to like be a little bit behind the 8 ball at receiver. And then obviously the goal is that if those receivers hit, that means my quarterback hits, and then I can kind of catch up with the field and receiver and quarterback. And obviously I'll be ahead at running back and tight end most likely. So that's kind of the bet I make. And then obviously if it doesn't work, that team might just be dead. I mean, if I make a bet on the Patriots and they're bad or like really bad on offense and they don't have any fantasy value, then okay, that's fine. The team's probably dust. But I'm going to make another bet on maybe it'll be the Broncos and they surprise us and they end up being good. And then, kind of get to benefit from that. Goddard stack 20 thoughts on Goddard. I think he's good. Good volume play. I mean, it should honestly the whole offense should funnel through 3 players, plus Barkley. So I don't see a reason why Goddard would be a bad pick. I think I like him the most when he's correlated with Hurts. I'm not really dying to take him outside of those situations, but I love him when I have Hurts. That's because a lot of times I'm not getting Smithy and Brown, so I love getting Goddard there. All right, try one more time to make this work. If not, I'm going to give up on it. Focus on making some good content instead of jacking with this thing the whole time. All right. Kittle's there. We got Hopkins. I always take Hopkins. Ladd. Brian Thomas. I can get double Jacksonville set up there. Interesting. So I'm on the clock at 8:78. Is there a world where I get like Brian Thomas to fall back? Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Let's grab Ladd, and then so I can get a rookie on this squad that feels pretty strong. I like Hopkins a ton. Like I usually take Hopkins there, but I'm gonna go for Ladd this time. So then I have the option to go with the Jacksonville or the Chargers. So I have two options of quarterbacks I like a ton there in that range. And then obviously I have the backdoor May stuff for the Patriots bring back. So this gives me a lot of options when I do these kind of builds, as opposed to taking like Keon Coleman, like where Josh Allen's long gone, or Rashee Rice where Mahomes is long gone, even though Rashee's probably a value here still. I think grabbing like Brian Thomas, Deontay Johnson, Hopkins kind of gives you an option where you can backstack your quarterback even easier later. And I tend to prefer to allow that option for me. Okay, please work. I did it. I did it. Okay. Woo! All right, we're back. How long did it took me to get that to work? Way too long. All right, now I can focus on the actual team. And sorry for the honestly bad content. I need to. Hopefully, I don't have to worry about that once I fix the tool a little bit more. Smart Man Christopher, what's up, Tab? Good to see you, man. Hurts is like the 5th player ahead of him. It's like a 5th player ahead of him. Scary for any ceiling. 4th player. Is like a 5th player ahead of him. What do you mean by that? I don't exactly know what you mean by that. I don't know if I'm just like misunderstanding what you're saying, but okay. Kittle goes at 75. Was honestly a little bit tempting to go there. I know who I want at 91. You guys probably know what I want as well. All right, we got Achane as a nice upside piece. Few other options. I mean, Christian Watson's not my favorite guy to take there, but I don't hate it. Let's go Aaron Jones. I mean, Monty makes sense too, I guess. Let's go Monty. I think Aaron Jones I do like as well, but I'm going to go Monty there just because I don't have a ton of him. I know that for a fact, and kind of get a little extra correlation. This game goes off, we get Monty to get a couple touchdowns. We get Monroe, a couple touchdowns. We get Ayuk on 2 coming back, so don't hate that. Generally speaking, I would take Aaron Jones, but I really like Ty Chandler and those guys later, so I'm not feel too obligated to take him then. So not a bad squad so far. Coming up on a lot of quarterbacks. So obviously, like this team is pretty cool because you have all the quarterbacks still available to you. So yeah, I think this is gonna be the BOGO strat where I have a strong running back room, a strong tight end room, and then I have my quarterbacks and receivers made up depending on like how you can play it. But at the same time, like I have a strong receiving core. Like I have a Monra, Ayuk, Kirk, McConkey. Like that's pretty strong already, and I could still get a pretty good looking team. And even then, I've also thought about like the idea of like going like Purdy, T-Law, Herbert. Like I think you can make that work. Like it feels overkill, but like they're all after pick 100, and you're getting three pretty, pretty good quarterbacks, I'd say. Probably like Lawrence and Herbert you put above like Purdy in terms of skill. Obviously, Purdy has like the best skill position players, but like this is pretty sick. Like just going these three quarterbacks would be pretty damn fun. This is an obvious spot for Sam Darnold stack. I don't have a Minnesota player, so I can't take. I'm not taking Darnold, dog. Although I've been hearing that JJ is looking bad, so maybe a little feather in the cap of your Darnold stuff. I still think it's not a good bet, regardless, just because you might not get him to start at the end of the year, which is the only thing that matters. But I'm hearing it. Dude, I wanted Bowers. This guy took him 11 picks ahead of ADP, bro. Honestly, like Bowers just feels so good. I might just have some confirmation bias on that, but like it just feels good to get him on your team, just because you just feel like you're getting. I feel like I'm getting an elite tight end in a non-elite tight end's body. That's like literally how it feels when I take him. All right, well, give me Jalen Warren here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep grabbing running backs that there's so many running backs available here. I'm gonna keep grabbing. Coming up on a quarterback range, and then we have the options to go two more tight ends late, or we can go three. But I like Freiermuth a lot. Drafters are starting to get wild catches are trickling. I think so. I think so. Yeah, the drafts have been getting weird. I mean, this guy took Lamar at like 108 and went Henry. Like, this is crazy. Reaching like 3 rounds on him, reaching like a round on him, and yeah, I don't know. Really annoying though. Bowers is moving up. I mean, I've been taking Bowers, but geez, I don't like seeing him move up like that. This does feel like a room that might be kind of hard to push quarterback on, because I think people just might take him. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 badges, 7 non-badges in here. It doesn't mean like they're bad drafters, but just less volume for sure. If I get Zach Moss, I'm done at running back. But we'll see if he's there or not. He's gone. Okay. Well, I mean, Tyjae's definitely a guy I would like on this team. Probably need to grab a receiver if I can, though. Curtis isn't bad. Shaheed's okay. Palmer makes a lot of sense. Palmer at 108, it feels kind of rich, but I don't mind it. Feels kind of interesting. So maybe I'll go that route. Unless like Curtis is there, even though I don't take a ton of Curtis, I think at that price it definitely makes sense to get a little week 15 correlation too. Switch to another song here. Curtis went. Okay. I mean, I'll take Palmer here. Get the double. All right. So 108. We got James Conner is tempting, but like I feel like I got it covered in terms of that. I don't need a guy like James Conner on this team. We're gonna go Palmer and get a double stack up for the Chargers. So yeah, this is shaping up to like either a 4 running back build or a 5, because I got quite a bit of volume here. I got Montgomery, got volume. Achane is like an upside guy that I think is going to be fine most weeks. And then Warren, I think, is going to get a lot of touches, like regardless of whether he is the 1A or 1B in Pittsburgh. I think he's just going to get a ton of work. Next pick, kind of looking ahead, I'll give you guys always going to give you guys the scoop of what I'm looking at. I think Tyjae makes sense here. Get a little Jacksonville bring back. Tyjae goes. Okay, never mind. We have Chig late. I've been trying to get more Chig exposure. Doesn't seem awful. T-Law will take if he falls to us. Herbert's definitely a guy I'll be willing to reach on here, because I think he's just underpriced anyways, and he makes this team a lot more whole, and I don't really want to miss out on him there. Like, whereas T-Law I'm willing to push, so like I won't take T-Law here, but if he comes back at 130, then 126 I'll have a decision to make, and then Herbert I'll like push as well to 130, like 135 or whatever my pick is. All about playing these rooms. I mean, you're gonna miss out on stuff, but like you gotta like calculate if you're willing to make that risk, and sometimes it's not worth it, sometimes it is. And that's some really big nuance that will help you become a better drafter. Sometimes it's annoying because you come up on the board and you just like don't have a player you really even want to take that much. Dobbs has been falling a lot. Yeah. There's like nothing that like jumps out. I'm gonna just take T-Law because there's just nothing that stands out there like at all. Truthfully. Yeah, sometimes I get in those situations too where it's like there's literally nothing that jumps off the page to me, so I'll just take my quarterback. Like, I don't know, for example, there, if like Javonte, Corum, Brian Robinson were there, maybe A.D. Mitchell, Ty J for sure, like that jumps off the page to me. Like, I'll take him there. But like there's just nothing there that I'm dying to take. And I just don't feel like I need a guy. Like, I kind of want a rookie with upside. Right now, I don't want a Singletary type, and I don't think he's gonna add much to this team. So that's where I'm at there. Like, I just want like a rookie piece where it's like a Corum or something. Where was he at? Was he even available? No, he was gone as well. So like, just I want an upside piece there, and I don't think that's really what I was gonna get. Like Kendre, Charbonnet, these guys make like a ton more sense in terms of like what I'm looking for in this team. Jalen Polk is a pretty big target to me here, right here as well. A lot of players I want right now in this range. Like, there's like 4 guys I'm like dying to take. I don't see any commodity fall. I don't see how commodity fall doesn't get on the field. You like him? Yeah, I agree. I think there's a very good chance he doesn't get on the field, but at the same time, there's opportunity for him. I mean, he was a late round pick in the draft. Like, those guys just like fall by the wayside so often. So I wouldn't be so confident he's going to get a work, but like I would think like at his price, like he's worth the risk. That's cool. At his price, he's worth the risk. That's all I'll say. Like 158, pretty light pick, like almost like irrelevant at that point, somewhat like in terms of like what draft capital you're spending. Obviously, you don't want to take zeros, but like he's worth the risk. You might get a 0, but like you might get the running back 1 on the Chargers, or like down the stretch, the running back 1 on the Chargers. Like, they don't have a lot there. And obviously there's a world like Dobbins and Edwards are healthy at the beginning of the season. And it's just like, okay, well, see you later, Kamani. But like, there's a world where Gus is still banged up, or Dobbins doesn't even make the team. And then Isaiah Spiller's not involved either. It's like, there's another guy there. Spiller's there too, could get involved too. So it's like, you're not fully covered. But I think just there's just options there. So Tua, Goff, Herbert are all there. In this situation, I don't need Herbert. I mean, obviously, I'd like him. I prefer to have him. Is Gabe? Where's Gabe going? He's already gone at 1. He's already gone at 121. Wow. Okay. So I can't get Gabe. That sucks. Tank makes some sense here too. So in this case, I'm gonna grab my second tight end and be done at tight end. A little bit of a reach, but I don't really care because I'm locking up my second tight end and I'm done at tight end. And then now I hope I can get Herbert back. And if I don't, I have Polk, Kendre, like a lot of guys I do like here. So definitely have the options. Even Goff is an option too on this team. Like, Goff makes a ton of sense. So I don't have a lot of options here. So if I get Herbert at 139, can I push to 150 and can I get Polk at 150? Like, that'd be pretty sick. No guarantee there, but that would be dope. So we have a double Pittsburgh thing. We got the little double Detroit. We have 1 Miami piece. Obviously, I mean, Jonnu's viable late. We got Malik viable late. I think both those guys make a little bit of sense. I like kind of stacking teams without the quarterback. But I also have Tua, so I can even do that and stack him. At that point, Jonnu might be interesting. I might have a luxury pick towards the end here. In this case, I'm really happy with this team. Like, I feel like I'm strong at every position. Like, I have pretty good capital receiver, pretty good capital running back. I have a pretty like strong quarterback one as T-Law. Still going to get more there. And then I have two pretty strong tight ends. Like, I do feel pretty good about this team so far. And this is how I like, because sometimes you build teams like this and you like, okay, I feel weak at running back. I feel not that strong a receiver. I feel weak at tight end, and I feel good at quarterback. It's like, oh, that's not really what I want. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of the other guys, but I need to take more Douglas. Douglas was one of my darlings last year that I took it like late in the season. I took some Douglas, and he made some nice strides. And I wish I would have had him on more teams last year, even though he didn't like pop off. But I don't know, he's just a fun pick last year. So hoping that I can run that back this year. Honestly, the best case scenario here is all these quarterbacks are available. Okay, just kidding. Best case scenario are these two quarterbacks are available to me next pick, and I could just go down and grab like Polk. But at the same time, like I can get my Chargers bring back in other ways. So I probably need to lock up Herbert here if he's there, and if not, I could go Tua if I want. I have enough there where I can. So Polk's gone anyways. This guy's just taking everything I want. Really weak at receiver. Zabe Flower Leggetti as his third receiver feels very gross. Probably went at two heavy running backs. And then went Stroud and Hurts without it. With no Houston piece. Interesting. So Wicks goes. Two quarterbacks on the top of the queue. Hopefully this guy's not auto-picking. He looks like he could be. He's not. He's doing some... Yeah. I'm going to have to look at these teams after this because there's some very strange drafting going on, and I am not opposed to it. Okay, please don't tell me you're auto-drafting. It looks like he is. Oh, my God. Thank goodness. Okay. Give me Herbert. I don't want to miss out on Herbert. This feels good. Like, I could stop here. I think I could stop here. Tank Bigsby makes a ton of sense on this team. You know, he's kind of like bad, but he makes sense for sure. Chig even makes like Chigger Boyd feel okay. Not like a necessity, but definitely on the top of my list are like getting some Patriots pieces here. Douglas, I might try to catch him before the steam keeps going on him. I don't know if Ramondre is going to get steam, but he got paid. So happy with my Ramondre shares. I should be getting more Gibson though. That's like a major leak in my game. And this team, like you could even tack on, if you wanted to, you could tack on May and have just even more juice. And that is tempting to me here too. Like Herbert, T-Law, and May, like late season, like seems very, very strong. If you end up with those guys like playing late season, like that seems very, very strong. Because like, if there wasn't so much buzz about like the Chargers not running the ball, and obviously they got rid of their weapons, so they're gonna run a lot. But like, why can't Herbert be around the price of Burrow? Like he doesn't, even if he's not there, like he could pick 100. And like 2 years ago, Burrow was going around 60 to 50, right? So like these pocket guys that are primarily pocket quarterbacks, like these guys just like they have so much variance where like they'll have a season where they throw for 40, 50 touchdowns and then they go up in price. And like that doesn't mean they're going to hit those touchdowns again the next year. I mean, they could when you're talking about Mahomes or something, but most of the time they will. But sometimes they won't do that. And if you're just going to be talking about price, I mean, like not long ago, Herbert was like the number 4 quarterback off the board, and now you're getting him at 140. Just feels like very wrong. And I'm willing to die on that hill because we've seen Herbert be very good. And obviously there's risk. There's a ton of risk. But it's just not to the point where you should be worrying about it so much. Pearsall would have been sick. Damn, bro, I really want a Pearsall. Kamani makes a ton of sense. I'd get him at 163, and then I hopefully get Douglas at 174. I mean, he'd probably be gone by then, realistically. Let me get Kamani here. Take another upside swing at running back, and then probably maybe one more running back here. Don't have to, but can. But this is enough. Like Achan, Warren, Kamani. No, I'd probably go 5 here. If I got like a different guy, I would probably be willing to go stop there. But yeah, that's fine. I would have loved to take Ricky there. That would have been very sick. This guy has no tight end yet. Caleb Williams running tight end quarterback. Definitely gonna look at these teams after this. I feel like there's some sus drafting going on here. Yeah, like Elijah Mitchell makes a lot of sense. It's like last guy, Elijah Mitchell or Braylon. Herbert's even in that range. If Nick Chubb's there, I'd take him. Algier, Ray Davis. Like I like all these running backs a lot. And then even if I don't get Douglas, I still have people back there I can grab. So I'm not gonna fret that too much. So I have Detroit, San Francisco. I have Lack. I'm gonna get a Patriot. I don't know if I'm gonna get any Cleveland pieces anymore. Unless Chubb's there, I guess I'd get him. Tennessee, I get Chig, I guess, or like Boyd, but Boyd doesn't really make sense for this team. So I think one thing is don't force like correlations when you don't need them. Like this team doesn't really need Boyd that badly. If I was gonna grab Levis or something, then maybe. But you know, I missed out on Hopkins. I missed out on Tyjae. Like I don't need Tennessee guys. Like who's to say that Tennessee's not a train wreck this year, and then we get T-Log popping off in week 17 with Kirk with like 3 tutties or something like that, and you don't need a Tennessee bring back. Like that seems very, very possible. Chubb I'll take at 163 though. Like give me Chubb at 163. I'll smash it personally. Okay, Chubb at 158. I think that was a good pick by him. Corley at 159, so he's trying to make up his receivers with make up at receiver with volume late. Ray Davis seems to be a guy that just always falls. I don't know why, but he does fall a ton. And that's something to keep in mind when you're like drafting, is like knowing like people tendencies to fall. And he's definitely on that list. Do I rather? I don't know if I'd get Douglas coming back. Okay, I don't, because this guy takes a 161. Damn it, bro. All right, whatever. I'll take Baker, or Bourne. So that makes my answer a lot easier. So I'm just gonna grab. I want upset receivers, so I'm not gonna settle for anything less. McMillan and Baker seem like fun fix for this team, so I'm gonna grab Ray Davis now and get another rookie. I think I have some correlations with Buffalo as well. Let me see. So I have Detroit and then Patriots, and then I don't have a Jet, but I could have one. This team has a ton of luxury because, like, usually if you're taking 2 quarterbacks here, you usually want to go 3. I don't have to. I can. I don't feel like I have to, at least. I don't have to, but I can. I don't have to go 6 running backs, but I can. I don't have to go 9 receivers, but I can. This could stop at like 8 or 7 pretty easily with what I've already spent. This could stop at 2, but could go 3. I love having flexibility like this because you just let the board come to you, and it's, I don't know, you just feel like you have a lot more options. And whereas like if you went 3 tight ends early already, then you just don't take a tight end anymore unless you're really, really making a mistake usually. So I like the way this team came out. I did a cardio club team recently, and it just, anything I wanted just didn't come to me. And this just feels like a little bit of the opposite. Obviously, I missed out on a couple pieces I want, but this feels a lot better in terms of like getting the players I want. Like I said, ton of Eliminator content coming. Some collab content for sure. I'm going to reach out to some people, hopefully get some collabs in the work too. And yeah, content's going to keep evolving. Hopefully I won't be messing with an overlay for the first 40 minutes or first 10 minutes of the draft every single episode. But so Boyd went at 160. Wowzers. So give me Jalen here next. I could wait and grab Jalen at 187. Like I think this room feels like they're gonna get their guys, and Jalen feels like a guy that people are just gonna grab. Braylon Allen's a really fun pick. Elijah Mitchell's a really good pick. I don't. So 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 picks left. I need those. I need at least 2 of those to be receivers. McMillan's like a perfect pick. Am I going Braylon or Elijah Mitchell, bro? I'm gonna take Braylon. That was a tough decision, honestly. Like, that was really tough. Like, I did not know what I wanted to do there at all. But I mean, I guess that's like part of the luxury of it. But like now, I feel very good at running back. Like this feels like enough. Like when you take Achane as your anchor, it feels a little bit different than when you take like CMC or like Barkley. Whereas like Achane's upside is there, but his downside is very, very evident. Where like you could see him getting you 4 points a week, and you need someone to fill spots. Whereas like Barkley, it's like okay, I'm getting 10 to 15 every week, no matter what. So it depends. If like Achane gets a full workload, like he's going to nuke, and then I have like Montgomery, Warren, Vidal, Davis, just to fill one slot, and that feels very easy. So Mitchell, Madden, Curse. I'm gonna get a lot of Mitchell. Don't worry. This just won't be this team. This won't be the team I have. It sounds like Radius will definitely be on the field here. It feels like a steal. Yeah, he seems very safe, and I don't know why he falls so much. It really doesn't make sense to me, but he does. So hopefully the room gives me the gift of the guy I want, but this like sack dance guy feels like a guy that's just gonna grab him. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes the guy I want right here because he's like taking all the buzzy guys. I feel like and a ton of rookies too, but maybe he'll grab Michael Wilson. Like Baker's a good pick on this team too, so I don't mind getting Baker, but like I would just really like okay, nice, take Michael Wilson. So we want a Patriot late. I have 2 options for Patriots. Hopefully it just makes my life easy and lets me get the player I want the most here. But this guy's been kind of funky, dude. You need a running back, bro. Come on. Dobbins. All right. You did what I wanted, I guess. This guy needs a quarterback. Go grab Baker. Grab Baker. Yeah, just tell the room what you want, and they'll do it for you. All right, so give me... Oh, I was about to take Elijah. Don't want him. I want Jalen McMillan here. Feels very good to get McMillan there. Juju, obviously. I forgot he's on the team still. Oh, man. Fails to impress during OTAs. Is that surprising or not? And then if Baker falls to me, I like dancing here. I think I'm going 2 receiver bullets here. I think that makes the most sense. And this type of team, like I could go May, I could go Jonnu, I could go another tight end. Like there's definitely that option there, but I don't feel like obligated to do that at all. I don't feel like it needs to be done. I think I just go 2 more receiver bullets and just call it good. And Kendrick Bourne and Malik Washington feel fine as my last 2 bullets. I might get a little bit of ownership discount depending on what happens with them. Because I mean, you get some cover on this Malik Washington stuff. You get cover with Odell. And I'm okay betting against him. But Jonnu I like a lot too. So like I could make the case where it's like, okay, maybe I don't need 4 receivers every week, but I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable. Like these guys will most likely be in lineup every week. Like it doesn't feel thin at all to say that. And then obviously I have like 2 shots at the Chargers, like wide receiver 1. I think I have the wide receiver 1 in this group, maybe the wide receiver 2 as well. If I do, that's really strong. And then I got, an upside case here at Jalen. So I think I definitely want 2 more receivers. I think that's like I'm locking that in as like what I need at this point. And I think upside is a good swing. Clay Freeman is not awful pick. Chase Claypool is getting some buzz. I go Malik, I think, here. I go Malik here. And then I'll go... Obviously, there's a world for me to take like guys like Calvin Austin, but I want to do that on Time Box for now. And then I'll sprinkle them in here and there. But like towards the end of the season, it's like when I'm going to be grabbing these guys a bunch in BBM. But like in other contests like that are going to close, like the puppy and stuff, I'll grab Trey Tucker, I'll grab Calvin Austin, because you're getting the ownership discount, and then like who knows what, how drafted they're going to be later on. So get Malik here, and then I'll get Kendrick Bourne as a guy. I feel pretty confident Kendrick Bourne's going to play once he's back. Is he going to be the best receiver? More than likely not. But I think he's going to play for sure when he's back on the field. And he's like shown he could, like, he's got some juice on the outside. I mean, my bet I would make is like, I think Baker is kind of like on the outside looking in more than likely. I mean, maybe not right away, but like Baker could be on the outside looking in, and then you're kind of like faced with the point of like Douglas is playing for sure. He's a slot guy, and then you get Polk running routes on the outside, and then Bourne. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if that's even accurate, but I think Douglas is definitely should be the slot guy, and then Bourne was running a lot of routes on the outside, I believe, and getting open, making some plays, and then kind of Polk could do the same thing, and then Baker is another outside guy that they could sprinkle in. But I think when Bourne's back, he's going to play. He's kind of always just been like solid when he plays. Full go for training camp. Yeah, give me Kendrick Bourne. Fun. And these are like the kind of cover boys of just like undervalued potential quarterbacks. And I don't know, I just like grabbing both those guys there. It feels really good. Because like these are guys that we were getting last year. Like Herbert, last year T-Law was like pick 60 and Herbert was pick 8, pick 70, and Herbert was pick 50, I think, last year. Like literally that was their price last year. We're getting 50 picks of discount on both of them, if not more on Herbert. You're getting like 80 picks on him. Pretty crazy. So fun squad, honestly. We'll pull up a couple of these teams after this, and we'll chat about them before we hop off for the day. But fun squad for sure. Very, very happy with this one. All right, let's close this bad boy, and then we'll pull it up on this one once it's done. This player to graph with Brissett is the opposing defense. That's why I don't draft Brissett. That's why I draft Drake May. Yeah, it's looking good for May, at least in terms of like playing, and that's like the whole bet. Like as long as he plays by like week 10, like those teams are safe, because the way you draft with Drake May is not draft as he's gonna play the whole season. Like you draft in the knowing damn well that he's gonna probably miss like 4 games, maybe more. So that's the way I've been taking him now. I think it makes sense. All right, let me name this one. 2682. Kind of 2682 with like a really weird spin, and it feels pretty strong. So fun team for me. Let's check out the other teams that were in that draft with us, and then we'll call it a day. We'll talk about our team first. So go through my team. We had stuff I started probably early. Yeah, that feels pretty strong to me. T-Law, Justin Herbert as quarterback, Devon Achane, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Kamani Bedell, Ray Davis, and Braylon Allen, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk, Len McConkey, Josh Palmer, Jalen McMillan, Malik Washington, Kendrick Bourne. So got a little bit back on that Chargers side with, or on the Patriots side with the Chargers team. Only got single stacked Herbert or T-Law. Kind of unfortunate. Would have liked to get like Gabe somewhere in there, but I may have missed out on other pieces I needed. So feels fine there. Pitts and Freiermuth feel like 2 pretty strong bets. I think Freiermuth looks like a good target in that offense. They like using the tight ends too. Feels like a good bet, even though I had to reach on him a bit. I had to reach on Pitts a bit to get my elite tight end, but feels fine. I kind of was in a tough spot. I missed out on a guy. I was close to getting ETN, which would have changed this team a bunch, but I feel fine where it ended up. I got 2 tight ends I feel pretty strong about as a 2 tight end build. 2 quarterbacks I feel so like I'm kind of like cheating it, where like usually if you want to go 2 quarterbacks, you need to grab like one of the first 6 off the board, and I didn't have to do that here. And I feel like it's still strong, especially when you just look at the names and like the teams that they're on and like the skill. Like it just feels like these guys are elite quarterbacks. Like these are guys that should be elite in the elite tier and could be in the elite tier, just depending on like touchdown upside. So if they both hit their touchdown upside, like these guys are both wildly mispriced this year. Obviously, it doesn't mean there will be next year, but you see these overreactions to pocket quarterbacks all the time, and like that's why Stroud is going at pick like 60. And there's a reason he falls a lot when you don't have his pass catchers, because they're really attached to their pass catching like players. So just feels like these guys are just only priced this way because of disappointing years last year, and that doesn't have anything to do with this year. So happy to take both of them there. And I got like a good receiving core. I got two Chargers that could be the top 2 weapons, and that could be extreme value there. And then I got a running back there too, so that's pretty fun. Obviously, I would have loved to get like Gabe or like Ingram or ETN. Would have like been really nice to get ETN there, and then maybe I have a 3 tight end build or something like that, and 1 less running back. That could have been interesting, but don't hate the team. I love it a lot. Honestly, I definitely don't hate it. I like the team a lot. 3 rookies, running back, 3 rookie running backs, 3 rookie receivers. Feels pretty strong. So, did I finish talking about the team? I think I did. I think I went through the whole team. But let's recap one more time. Herbert, T-Law, H.N., Montgomery, Warren, Vidal, Ray Davis, Braylon Allen, Amon-Ra, Ayuk, Kirk, McConkey, Palmer, McMillan, Malik Washington, and Kendrick Bourne, and Kyle Pitts and Fryermuth. So, fun team. We'll check out our boy Leo the Dobie. Lamar, A-Rich, Tua. I think too much personally. Henry, Kenneth Walker, Raheem Mostert, Dobbins. This feels pretty okay. So let's see where the leaks. Like when you look at a team like this, like just like let's play a game as guess the team. You look at this and you just tell me like, okay, where are they weak? You can pretty much say wide receiver, tight end, they're going to look weak, and I think that's going to be evident once I scroll down a little more, and we'll find out. So Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 1, Sutton at wide receiver 2, A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver 3, Roman Wilson, wide receiver 4. Okay. So instead of being weak at tight end, they're actually strong at tight end. They're just extremely weak at receiver, which is like the most important position. Does not feel good. I don't anticipate this guy having a good year with this team. Obviously, you could be popping off and other stuff, but like I don't expect this to be a good team. I don't think the history would tell you that, and the history doesn't tell everything, but like the history does like overwhelmingly show how important receiver is, and like I just don't think you can avoid that. Like if you want to get weird every once in a while and do some stuff like this, like even this, it wouldn't be the way I would do it. If you're going to try to get weird, like I would go like 12 receivers or like 11 receivers and 2 tight end and 4 running back. Like if you want to get, and definitely not A-Rich and Lamar with Tua. Like you need more receiver volume, I think, just to give yourself a chance. Obviously, like maybe he hits on the nuts here, maybe, but like it's very thin, right? And this team could be insane, but even then, like it's not that strong at running back, even if it is to hit the nuts at receiver. So it's just hard to say, So definitely interesting stuff. Let's see if there's anything else weird that happened here. We got the Cherry Bright Andrews guy. We definitely had a lot of people that didn't value receiver correctly, which doesn't surprise me given the room that we're in. This guy, seemed like he recovered pretty well. Like this is pretty nice. I like that guy's team. Just from a quick glance, this guy went 5 tight end. I can't imagine this worked out good. 2 double tight end with elite, or double bye week with elite feels bad. Running back feels completely fine. Receivers feel, I would say, weak. If your Curtis Samuel's wide receiver 4, that feels relatively weak. And you only have 6. Feels weak. 5 tight ends makes sense when you're going 5 late. I guess that's fair. I don't even hate this that much. I don't like that, and I don't like the receivers. Like I would rather shave off one of them, grab another receiver, shave off this, grab another receiver. Seems more like reasonable, but I'm not gonna poo-poo on that one too much. Weak at tight end seems good though. I think this is what you'll find is like you can build teams like this year where like it's pretty fun where like receivers that sentence all the time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think there's a world where you can do it, but you have to do it in like a sharp way. Yeah. I really think there's a way you could be weak at receiver with a ton of quantity, but you have to do it like it can work. It's very thin, but like it can work. Like if you're stacking like the Patriots and they pop off this year, then like you can live with a little bit less receiver volume. If you stack Denver and they pop off this year, you can get away with a little bit less. Like those are the situations. Or you stack like Carolina and they end up being better than expected. Like that could work out too. Like you stack like the Houston last year, Green Bay last year. You stack those type of teams and get and you're not like you don't have too much capital at receiver and you gotta win with that bet where like Green Bay hits, Houston hits. Like that's when you can have a weak receiving room, and that's like the only time you can get out of it if you get an undervalued team that just like smashes. But otherwise, if that doesn't happen, you're gonna be behind the 8 ball, and that's why I like taking shots for like, hey, let me see how strong I can get at running back, tight end, quarterback, and then like be strong at receiver. Like I'm not gonna just like bypass the position completely by like not having a top. Like I'm gonna grab 1 or 2 in the first 3 rounds, like every time. So like I'm not gonna be that far behind. Whereas when you don't do that, you're probably way too far behind just to begin with. Like you need to grab like a Marvin Harrison, you need to grab a Garrett Wilson, you need to grab like one of those guys in the first like 2 rounds, ideally 2 in the first 3, if not like 1 at the minimum. I think it's the top. Yeah, exactly, right, exactly. It's like I'm betting on these guys to not get a 50 bomb or a 40 bomb, like any of them. Like that just feels very, very unlikely. Whereas like you might grab a running back and they could smash for you, but then you're missing out on all the receiver upside early because I don't know. You got to pay attention to the market. The market says receivers are valuable and you need to like pay attention to that. And that doesn't mean you can't draft some running backs and you can't have fun with it. But you need to like be very conscious of like not getting too behind at receiver where it's like, you just end up like so far behind where you end up with this. Even feels pretty weak. Keon Coleman is wide receiver 3, but he has a Buffalo stack. I mean, that's interesting, I guess. Where's that guy at again? This guy. Yeah, like it just you end up with Courtland Sutton as your wide receiver 2, and it just like it's just a thin bet to make. And if the market is telling you that it's so much more important to value receivers, you need to like be conscious of that and at least like pay attention and play off of that. But like I said, I think if you want to be a running back, bro, the best way to do it is you can draft your running backs, but make sure you stop early enough. Don't grab too many. If you grab like 3 early, just stop there. Maybe grab 1 more like very late. But just like know when to stop at running back. And if you want to draft a bunch of running backs, you can, or draft heavy capital at running back, you can. But attack those teams that could be lower undervalued and see if you can benefit from the BOGO strat I talked about is get both at the same time. I mean, no team's dead. I mean, pretty much no team's dead. I mean, there's teams that are like drawing pretty close to dead. But like, I'm not going to say this team's dead because like, what if Roman Wilson ends up being wide receiver 2? What if AD Mitchell's wide receiver 1? What if McCaffrey's wide receiver 2? Extremely thin bet. What if Douglas is wide receiver 1? Like, what? Extremely thin. Don't get me wrong, and I think poor use of capital across the board on this team. But I'm not going to call it dead. You could call it dead. I'm the one that's live streaming it. I'm not going to call teams dead all the time. I'll say it's drawing dead. But I have teams that I look at and I think that I built that I think are dead too. So it's drawing pretty low. I would say very low odds. And yeah, it's just like understand the capital you're spending in every position, and that's like one of the most important things. And I think people are still making mistakes of that and are going to continue to because they're either trying to be too safe or they don't understand like the format enough where like they might not realize how important receiver are early. Like, hey, I got 8 receivers. My first receiver is hey guys, I still got 8 receivers. I should be fine, right? My first receiver is Curtis Samuel. Am I good? Like, no, you're not good. You're in trouble. The advancement is real. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the reason is like we don't know everything that's going to happen. First of all, is why we can't say things are completely dead or out of the ordinary now. But like you could use the past to predict the future, but also not like weigh the past too heavily. So it's kind of like a happy medium there. But like you could pretty much guarantee, like if you are very weak at receiver, you're going to have a very low chance of advancing, if not like zero, like very like you're going to be not like little to no chance of advancing. And that's like a pretty much across the board. That's how you could feel. So if you're going heavy running back, just be sure you're aware of like what you're taking on risk wise. I think the best way to do it is like, hey, I'm going to attack the Patriots. I'm going to attack the Chargers. I'm going to attack the Panthers and hope that one of those teams hits like the Houston Texans did last year. Maybe I can dig my way out of a receiver hole. And that's like your only way, I think, out. And I'm going to try to do that this year. I'm going to primarily do other like things where involve heavy receivers, but I'm going to try to do that and like still have decent receiver upside early. And most of the time it's not going to work out because you're not going to pick the right team probably, but I'm going to definitely take those shots because those teams could be really, really strong if you're like, okay, I'm extremely strong at running back, extremely strong at tight end, extremely strong at quarterback, and then hopefully I can cobble my receivers through by having like an undervalued team in here. So a little bit of my strategy advice there. But anyways, we all know receivers are important. At least people that are watching this should know at least. And if they're not drafting that way, then that's their own fault. If you don't realize how important receivers are, then sorry. But this feels good. Herbert and T-Law feels pretty sick as a quarterback build. So, anyways, one of my favorite teams I've made in a while. Happy I kind of get that taste in my mouth. My cardio club draft did not go very well. I mean, it was a fine team, but just like it felt kind of ugly. It was one of those teams where you just like look at every position, like nothing feels insanely strong. Whereas like this team feels like pretty strong at everywhere. And I had so many luxury picks where like this could have been a quarterback. This could have been a tight end. This could have been a receiver. Like it just had a lot of options, and that was nice. So, anyways, hope you guys all have a good day. Enjoy your weekend, and have a good 4th coming up. I'm gonna probably do an eliminator contest next week. If not tomorrow, I'll do some more stuff eliminators wise, and I think I'm leaning towards, I think I might try to max it. Or if not, I'm going to try to get like 50 to 100 entries in there. And I think that's going to be super fun to sweat and very, very fun to play, to do with like my friends and other people in the community. I think it'll be a ton of fun. So anyways, once again, 49 out of 50 subs. Once I hit 50 subs, I'm going to start reaching out to some content creators, hopefully get some collabs going and have some fun with some other people in the community and draft with some people that are in the streets a lot here on Underdog. I think that'll be a good experience for me. And then it'll build better teams for myself and hopefully the people that I'm drafting with too. So anyway, off all week the 4th, lots of drafting. Have fun, man. Enjoy it. Tay, Christopher, appreciate you guys hanging out on this Saturday afternoon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and much love. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your day. And yeah, as always, find value in what you're doing and enjoy yourself. Peace out, guys. Later.